What's up, brand builder? Stephen Hurahan here at brandmasteracademy.com, and in this video you're going to learn 17 powerful brand collateral examples to boost brand recognition. So you can learn how to captivate your audience with strategic collateral and create a lasting impression on potential customers to bank your brand in memory. So let's start with the basics. What is brand collateral? Well, it can be imagined as the wardrobe of your brand. Essentially, every piece is carefully selected and tailored to represent your brand's identity. It's the entire collection of physical and digital assets that support and promote a company's brand identity, and it makes that lasting first impression on potential customers. Think of recognizable business cards, letterheads, infographics, or even email signatures that bring that sense of consistency and continuity to a brand. Essentially, if everything looks cohesive and consistent, it plays into the idea that your brand is cohesive and consistent, and that builds trust. And these physical and digital assets support your marketing efforts and convey your brand image to potential clients and stakeholders. So what's the difference between brand collateral and marketing collateral? Are they the same? Are they different? Well, think of brand collateral as the long term and marketing collateral as the short term. The brand collateral is less likely to change because the brand identity doesn't change too much. But on the marketing side, campaigns change from one season to the next, and with that, collateral is likely to change as well. But the marketing collateral is always directed by the brand collateral, and you'll often see similar assets used from one marketing campaign to the next marketing campaign, and that provides the cohesive experience for the brand. But let's go beyond the surface and dive a little bit deeper. Brand collateral refers to the collection of tangible and digital assets that support and promote a company's brand strategy, and that includes visual and verbal communication as well as marketing communication as well. And these materials range from classic business cards to website design and even apps, and they play a crucial role in ensuring a brand's consistency and recognition among potential customers and stakeholders as well. Now, of course, there are different types of brand collateral, and they're traditionally broken into print and digital collateral because although we are coming from a world where print was everything, we have really entered the world where digital has become everything. Of course, print collateral still exists, but it has become less relevant in today's age. But let's dive deep into the differences between the two and the examples of each. Now, print collateral has been around for generations, and if I'm being honest, I do have a soft spot for print collateral because it's where I cut my teeth in design, and they're like your favorite t-shirt that you've had for years. Some of them are actually still relevant today. So let's have a look at some examples of print collateral. So think of your business card. Now, your business card is your classic first impression maker, and it's still commonly shared at trade events today. Now, many now include QR codes which direct potential customers towards a digital asset, but in terms of the print collateral itself, it's still very relevant today. Next up is Letterhead. Now, a stylish and professional way to present your brand on official documents is Letterhead, and as long as you are still sending documents to potential customers, stakeholders, or anyone along the customer journey, then it's really important that you have a consistent experience. Catalogs are another great example of printed collateral. Some people really love the feel of tangible catalogs. So if you know who your target audience is and you know that that's what they love, then it is potentially a great piece of collateral that you can have for your brand, and you can show off your products with well-designed branded catalogs that's easy to browse through. Then, of course, you have signage. Bold, eye-catching signs, sometimes featuring your logo, help your customers to find and reinforce your brand's identity. And the signs often feature brand colors and palettes and possibly icons and graphics as well for that visual recognition. If you're going to head over to trade shows, then getting your booth sorted and your exhibition stand is another thing to consider when it comes to your collateral and anything that you might bring along to that event that you can physically hand over to your prospects. And then on the other, possibly more relevant side, we have digital brand collateral, and that includes social media graphics. So consistent and engaging visuals to support your content marketing efforts through social media graphics is a great way to visually represent your brand and keep that consistency. Next up are email templates. Now, again, email is a super important channel for communication for most brands these days, and having an email template that's consistent and aligned with your brand identity and entire brand experience is really important. Now, if you are a brand that launches products regularly, then having landing pages that are consistent from one product to the next is really important. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that they all need to look the same, but having those consistent signals from one landing page to the next is really important. And that is a part of your overall brand collateral family, having those consistent landing pages. Virtual business cards are the alternative to those physical business cards and allows for easy sharing of contact information. So if you have submitted to the idea that you no longer hand out physical business cards, but you still want to pass on your information in a concise and easy way, then the virtual business cards are a great way to do that. Infographics and graphics in general are a great way to keep that consistency, and these can apply to your digital environments such as your website, but it can also apply to your social environments and any other digital presence that you have out there in the market. So think about the infographics that you want to use, think about the graphics that you want to use, or the information that you want to display, and use those visual supports to demonstrate or to communicate your message. Ebooks, white papers, and other downloadable content that you would trade your email address for is another great example of branded content. Now, from one ebook to the next, you're not going to have the same type of content, and it might actually have a slightly different look and feel to it, but it's really important to have that consistency across one ebook to the next or one white paper to the next to show that it is from the same brand and it's from the same family. Okay, so these are all great examples of the different types of collateral that you can use from one brand to the next, or ones that you can adopt into your own brand. But let's take a look at more specific examples from existing brands. First up is Apple's product packaging. Now, Apple's minimalist and sleek packaging designs reflect the brand's focus on simplicity and elegance. And it's like receiving a gift that you know is going to be amazing before even opening it. And that is part of the overall brand experience that Apple offers. That is a sense of delight that any Apple customer will be able to relate to. And it's a really great example of an iconic piece of brand collateral. The next example of branded collateral is Mailchimp's Freddie. Now, Freddie is the mascot of Mailchimp and is also part of the logo itself. And this is a great example of how a brand can integrate graphics and visuals and bring the idea of a mascot to life. And Freddie is present throughout the entire Mailchimp brand experience, and it really does drive home that quirky and fun relationship that they have with their customers and that fun message that they put out there into the market, and it goes hand in hand with their bright yellow color palette as well. The next brand collateral example is Tiffany Co's signature blue boxes. Now, the iconic Tiffany blue box is instantly recognizable, signifying luxury and sophistication. And it's the visual equivalent of hearing a beautiful piece of music that stirs the emotions. This is really an iconic piece of packaging, and it really does set the Tiffany experience apart. If you see that blue box, you instantly associate that with luxury and the experience that Tiffany offers. Now, the next example of branded collateral is Lego's instruction manuals. Now, the Lego instruction manuals are an absolute icon, and for anyone who has adopted the brand into their lives, they know what that experience feels like. Me personally, I used to play with Lego when I was a young boy, and now today I play with Lego with my son. And that transition from one generation to the next and that continuation and that cohesiveness of the experience really is special, and it really does speak to the longevity of the Lego brand, and it really is part of the overall experience. So I really love this example of branded collateral, and it really has stood the test of time. So now we've covered the importance of brand collateral, the difference of brand collateral to marketing collateral, and we've even had a look at a few types and examples. Let's have a look at how to create effective brand collateral. Tip number one is consistency. Ensure all brand elements, from your colors to your fonts to your logo, etc., are consistent across all collateral types to create that cohesive brand experience. Next up is clarity. Keep your messaging and your visuals clear and easy to understand, and that helps customers to quickly grasp the essence of your brand. Relevance. Make sure that your brand collateral is relevant to your target audience and addresses their needs, preferences, and expectations as well. Then we have adaptability. Create collateral that can easily be adapted from one platform to the next, from one format to the next, allowing you to reach a wider audience. Innovation. Don't be afraid to think outside the box, to be unique, and to create eye-catching collateral that sets your brand apart from your competitors. Now look, I often talk about the difference between brand strategy and brand identity, and how visual branding has very little relevance without any strategy behind it. But make no mistake, once the strategy is there, the visuals become super relevant, and that brand collateral is part of the overall brand experience. If it's not consistent, if it's not clear, if it doesn't have visual appeal, it's not going to support the overall brand strategy, and it's not going to offer that consistency that your audience is really looking for. That consistency, that cohesion, that experience from one touch point to the next really does help to build that trust, and it shows that you are a brand that believes in consistency, doing things right from the very first touch point, and that plays through to the communication that you have with your clients. If they see that consistency, they feel trust. If they have trust, they're more likely to buy from your brand. Now, if you want to dive deeper into brand strategy, then this video here will help you out. But before you click it, if you want to become a master of brand, make sure you hit the like and subscribe to get notified when we release new videos just like this. Until next time, brand like a master, and I'll see you in the next video.